In our series of interviews to meet the candidates in the upcoming federal election, we're having a chat right now with Kimberly Hone, who is the National Party candidate for the Northern New South Wales seat of Richmond. Welcome, Kimberly.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's a get-to-know-you interview, so you might give us a thumbnail sketch. Who is Kimberly Hone?
Well, thank you for the question. So I am a mother, I'm a business owner, and I've got 3 beautiful children and a puppy. So I understand the struggles that families and business owners are going through at the moment with the cost of living crisis, our energy crisis, and I'm just dedicated to our community. I'm a council member as well for the Shire of Tweed, and so I get to see firsthand what our community struggles are, and I pride myself on listening to our community and making sure that what I'm fighting for is what they're asking me to fight for.
I suppose it's appropriate that we ask you what you think under the current situation Richmond is missing out on as far as being heard in Canberra.
Well, unfortunately, our Member of Parliament has been there for 20 years. She's largely known as absent. She'll turn up at election time to maybe cut some ribbons, grab some photos and knock on your door and tell you to vote for her. But throughout the terms, she's largely not been there, and those days are done.
The fact that you've been a councillor, that means that you've had an involvement in politics.
I'm incredibly grateful for that privilege that the community wanted me to represent them. I make sure that I fight for small businesses, I fight for families, I fight for common sense. So that's something that I also bring to the federal election as well, that common sense approach. Let's get back to what works, what makes sense. Let's move away from ideologies that have no practical basis, and let's get back to supporting families.
Well, you say, of course, that you are concerned with listening. You like to listen to things, and that's how you see a local member works. Finds out what the people are on about and
100%.
Take it to some place where things can be done.
That's exactly right. At the end of the day, if you are in politics, you are a public servant. Your job should be, number one, listening, not talking, but listening, and listening to what the community are saying, listening to their outcry, listening to their frustrations. And I've been doing that. I've been doing that very, very carefully on the ground. And for me, I will fight for our community regardless of how small or how big the issue is. So, for example, on Saturday, I was just at a pickleball protest, believe it or not,
Wow.
for our local pickleball players who have been shut out of tennis courts and not been able to play. And so it just goes to show I'm not afraid of the battle. I'm not afraid to stand up for what I believe is right. And the same goes for farmers. I work closely with the Farmers Association. So for me, working with the farmers means getting in the dirt, helping them with their weed management, but right through to our trade agreements as well. I would really love a time where we come into an opportunity to celebrate Australia again, to celebrate what we have, to celebrate our assets, to be proud of who we are. I feel like we've lost that ability to be proud Australians, and I'd love to bring that back. I'm a proud Aussie, and I think all of us should be proud Aussies.
Well, this is a sort of an example of the outspoken attitude that you would carry to Canberra as a federal member. And now it's, the campaign's actually underway, isn't it? They haven't fired the starting gun yet, but it's on.
Oh, yeah.
And you would be doing your listening. Now, what are the people of Richmond telling you?
So they're telling me that cost of living is out of control. They're telling me that their energy bills have gone through the roof. We've got a really big issue with insurance in Richmond because a lot of our residents are post-floods, so that has added to insurance issues as well. We've got a lack of small business support. We're in the regions, we're a regional seat, we're out of the city, so we lack that understanding because a lot of Sydney and Canberra decisions don't understand how the regions work. Small business is the backbone for our region, so a small business sector in our region needs to be understood and supported. And the community has spoken to me about the ideologies in our schools, in our universities. They've spoken to me about the division in our community, that we are one people, we are one mob, and we need to unite together for a better future. So one of the things that I'm working on is to reopen Mount Warning. My proposal is that we reopen Mount Warning, we pay Indigenous rangers to manage the track, and and we open a cultural centre at the base of the mountain too, so we can truly celebrate all of us together in the spirit of unity.
Right, now you've got a big team behind you?
I do have an amazing team behind me, but it's never big enough. So if you're out there and you would love to get behind me and support me on this, there are multiple ways that you can support me, and we've got a phone number. You know, some of the ways that you can help me, number one, is working on a polling booth. You can help me manage my campaign offices, and there's always so many other tasks to do.
That number is 0485 874 054.
That's it.
And thank you for chatting with us today. Good fortune in your tilt for the federal election, and thank you for coming and letting us know who is Kimberly Hone.
Thank you.